canceled.
I was drinking.
I know. Moving on to canceled.
Canceled! We have a crap load of cancels this week. It was like we had to cut some cancels this week.
Too many people got canceled.
Too many canceled.
We had to cancel some canceled.
We did. We had to cancel some cancels.
Okay, a Christian school expels teen girl Kayla Alford wearing a rainbow sweater in front of a rainbow birthday cake, deeming it a lifestyle violation, quote unquote.
You are alive. This is a violation. You are smiling in front of a birthday cake. We are going to expel you.
Yeah.
This is bull.
It was a weird story, and it was like it was a post on her mom's Facebook page. She was celebrating her birthday. She was out of school.
You're out of school. Like, you're in front of a birthday cake. Who gives? That's so ridiculous. Not like she was bullying some kid into, killing themselves or something. She was just like smiling. In front of a birthday cake.
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
That's insane. This is terrifying, though. This is the chilling, creeping totalitarianism that I say is coming from all sides. And everyone's always like, no, it's actually coming from the left. Or they're like, actually, it's coming from the right. No, it's coming from everywhere. And citizens are policing each other. Just go on Nextdoor, my favorite place to troll people. And you'll see, they'll be like, whose nanny is this? You're not going to believe it. And people are starting to post clickbait about their neighbors on Nextdoor. It's insane. What? I love it. It's hilarious, but also terrifying.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. Stop ratting each other out. You're all a bunch of whiny little narcs. That went in a place I didn't know.
Yep, that was
leave the poor kids alone when they're on Facebook off of school.
I know. She was just wearing a little sweater that had a rainbow on it.
I don't want to wait.
Our favorite Sarah McLachlan song.
We must leave the children out of this. Let them celebrate their birthdays in peace.
And then there was the transgender writer forced to retract trans-themed science fiction story. The title of her story, I Sexually Identify as an Attack Helicopter, alludes to a meme typically used to delegitimize transgender people. But the tale is anything but anti-trans. It's a surreal, mind-bending war story that turns the meme on its head. But a small number of militantly unhappy people attacked the story for offending them, and their harassment was so unpleasant that the author asked that it be unpublished.
Again, circular firing squads, you're never woke enough. And so the very people, and this is what we've said before here on Dumpster Fire, the very people that this whole idea of cancel culture claims to help ends up hurting marginalized groups the most. Yep. And it's ridiculous because then I don't get to read this, what sounds like an awesome science fiction story.
I know.
And it's all about me.
Someone's always going to be offended.
That's the point.
The editor was like, we're sorry because we didn't check it enough because obviously people were still offended. There was still something wrong with the story. People are always going to be offended.
I was offended by Catcher in the Rye, and I wasn't burning the book in the middle of class because I didn't like it. That freaking story was ridiculous bull.
I hated the Catcher in the Rye.
I hated it too. Why? Why did we hate it?
I hated Holden Caulfield. He was such a whiny,
he's so unlikable,
egotistical.
He was like a millennial, pre-millennial.
I know, he really was.
Was he a boarding school?
Yes,
so, yeah. I couldn't identify with him at all.
I was in a boarding school and I still hated it.
This is insidious. It's creepy. It's Orwellian. You can't burn a book if the book never gets published. And I just want everyone to download these videos and put them on discs and blast them into space so that the aliens know what happened to our society when it all collapses. They're going to be like, what happened? This was like a seemingly free and open society. Oh, well, people started policing each other because they couldn't handle it and their feelings got hurt and society collapsed.
Seriously.
That's
society collapsed because feelings were getting hurt.
That's why society's going to collapse, because people can't handle being offended. Like, they're so fragile. And you know what? We deserve to collapse if that's the case. Mm-hmm. If you can't even handle getting your feelings hurt by a freaking short story that's not even real.
So then there was the whole, we're still in canceled.
Still in Canceled. Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn faces liberal outrage after he was seen with Trump during national championship game, except it wasn't liberal outrage. It was Siraj Hashmi, a reporter for the Washington Examiner, sarcastically tweeted, "Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you Vince Vaughn is canceled."
This is the greatest example of how Twitter is not representative, but it's influential. So the average person would not have any idea about this story at all. They would have seen Siraj's tweet saying, "I regret to inform you Vince Vaughn has been canceled." And inadvertently, this is actually a story of how Siraj was canceled because he inadvertently was used by Fox. He's a conservative. So he's a conservative writer. And all of us on Twitter kind of know where everybody, the camps we all fall in the Twitter wars. And everybody, it was hilarious that day because he was going after the reporter who misreported that he had said that seriously, because then his mentions on Instagram blew up with all these like MAGA supporters who were like, "Go back to where you came from." And I'm like, yeah, go back to where you came from, Siraj, Hartford, Connecticut. Then the press picked it up on Fox. So most normies, like our the dads, the boomers, they would have just seen that tweet and been like, "Yeah, those stupid libs, they're going after Vince Vaughn for shaking the president's hand." I don't know why I'm using that accent. It could be any accent. And it's really just a conservative writer.
So making a joke.
This is a fantasy. Reality is parody. Real life journalists don't even know what's sarcasm. Take that sarcasm and turn it into a whole freaking news cycle of just trying to confirm their own bias.
The liberal cancel culture found a new target last night, actor Vince Vaughn. One person tweeting, "Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you Vince Vaughn is canceled."
And then on the ground on Twitter or wherever, you see the whole interplay of all the journalists making fun of Siraj for being like canceled. Like, "We regret to inform you, Siraj, you've been canceled by Fox News." It was hilarious. It so perfectly represents the dysfunction in our media and how everyone will just find what confirms their bias and be like, "There it is. There's the proof." Touch my bells and buttons. Subscribe, please. I'm a fembot now.